If this cataclysm didn't happen 3,000 years ago, we would have most likely had electricity when Jesus was born. That event is known as the Bronze Age collapse, happened around 1200 BC. During this time, there were three great civilizations which dominated most of the Mediterranean Sea: the ancient Egyptians, the Hittites, and the ancient Greeks, who were also known as Mycenaeans. The ancient Egyptian empire was at its wealthiest and strongest. They had the best merchants, mathematicians, engineers, and the military. The Hittite Empire was in modern-day Turkey, also known as Anatolia, and very often warred with Egypt over the borders. Hittites were the first ones to start manufacturing and using iron along with chariots in combat. Even though the Hittites are from modern-day Turkey, the closest genetic link to those people are with Italians, Greeks, Armenians, Turks, Arabs, Kurds, Assyrians, Persians, and then there was the up-and-coming Mycenaean civilization, who laid the groundworks for ancient Greece as we know it. Also, this was around the time of the Trojan War. They were also great builders, engineers, and architects, and they were one of the first civilizations to build very heavily fortified cities with walls encompassing the entirety of them, even out to sea. Yet something happened around the middle of the 13th century which destroyed all of the strength of these three civilizations. And the most widespread theory about the destruction of the Greeks, the Hittites, and the Egyptians was an invasion by these mysterious sea people. Very few records of this exist, except for this one hieroglyph discovered in ancient Egypt. That hieroglyph illustrates the very first naval battle recorded in history. This article, by the way, is from the U.S. Naval Institute. The name of this battle was the Battle of the Delta, circa 1175 BC. There are no Greek records of this because the destruction led to the Greek Dark Ages, so we know very little about that time. And there's nothing we could find out about what happened with the Hittites because their empire was completely destroyed. The story goes was that Ramesses III gathered all of Egypt's strength, armed them to the teeth in this one last Hail Mary battle to stop the Sea People, and Egypt won, miraculously enough. Yet while Egypt was victorious against the Sea People, the damage was done, and it was after this point that ancient Egypt began its long, inevitable decline. At this point, the Hittite capital of Hattusa was left so weakened that they fell to the neighboring Kaskas. It was only the ancient Greeks, after several centuries of a dark age, that managed to recover and come out much stronger and more advanced than they previously were. The question is, who were the Sea People? Were they Phoenicians? Were they other types of Greeks? Were they Italians? Were they Spanish? Were they Vikings? And right now, nobody knows. But if the hypothesis is true, they stopped the growth and progress of three very intelligent and advanced civilizations. I'm the Geo Husar, and I am about to bake a loaf of bread. Thanks for watching.